Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Town. Welcome back to another recap video. MPL Playoffs Season 17, Day 3 recap. Video's a bit late. I was kind of busy, so I'm recording this now, but we're ultimately going to get this video out and done. But yeah, guys, today's games were honestly very, very good. How many games were there today? There's two games. Both series were actually very good. Both series ended 3-1, I believe. Yeah, both series ended 3-1. Both series arguably should have went the distance. Both of them should have went to game five, but we'll get into that. Let's kick things off with the first match of the day, which was Onic Philippines versus Team Liquid Philippines, guys. Arguably the biggest rivalry in the world when it comes to MLBB. Listen, I'm gonna say something. Onic have improved so much. I know a lot of people talked about how Onic fell off last year towards the end, especially coming off of winning the World Championship. Onic have improved so much, and honestly, congrats to Severo. Severo has been very, very solid. I know I was very critical on I don't think Onic are gonna be that good coming into the season, but he's completely proved all the haters wrong. I mean, this dude is a very solid player. And Onic play a really, really good style of Mobile Legends, and I don't think they should switch up anything going forward. If they want to make the finals and have a rematch against Team Liquid, I don't think they should switch up anything because Onic played very, very good. They should have won that last game. Ultimately, they did throw, but more on that later. As for Team Liquid, still the best team in the world, the team that makes the least mistakes, the team that makes the most correct plays. This team is so difficult to beat. Their early games are insane. Their advantages, like their tempo leads, bro, they're like turtle control. It's so difficult to win against this team because they just win the early game. And guys, early game is so important. The team that wins early game is most likely just going to win the game. Like, I'm pretty sure Team Liquid have like a 90% chance of winning the game if they just win the early game. So this team, the only way you can beat them, like completely beat them, is if they have like no towers, no objectives, they're like 10,000 gold lead. Then you have a chance of beating them. And even still, Team Liquid still have a chance of coming back because this team is just insanely good. But man, that last game, Onyx should have won. Very frustrating if you're Onyx. I mean, that's the thing, guys. When it comes to these late game team fights, the smallest of margins are going to determine the outcome. And I'm not a big fan of Onic um, using the diversion to the mid lane bush, especially when Chow wasn't shown on the map. I just think if you're Onic, you have to be playing the map better. You already had map advantage. Pretty sure they had more towers down. Like you need to just let Team Liquid come to you. And they actually had a very, very solid draft. The Atlas pick ultimately wasn't very effective, efficient in the late game, but that's just because everybody knows what Atlas is going to do. Atlas, his engagement is very, very slow unless you flick your ult immediately. So that's kind of what happened. But Team Liquid, ultimately, in that last team fight, if you guys haven't seen the last team fight, by the way, you just like watching this and don't know what actually happened, go rewatch that last team fight in game four. Sanford made the play of the day. I mean, that four-man dark wave onto Onic Philippines. And then Onic Philippines were just doing no damage that fight. Like the Claude was doing absolutely no damage. So yeah, Severo was doing decent today. I don't think he had that good of a series, but to be honest, he can't really do much. Like Onic are extremely tanky. Like Chow, Phovius, those are extremely tanky heroes, but I feel like the Claude should be doing more damage. I would have to go back and rewatch the target selection, but yeah, Onyx Philippines. This team is very good, and honestly, guys, I think this team has a shot at beating Team Liquid Philippines. I know that may sound crazy. I know people are gonna say like, "Oh, there's no way Team Liquid loses." Guys, this team is so good. They beat Onyx. They beat Team Liquid once. They 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 have even in the regular season there were so much instances where Onyx can win and they just throw. Like if Onyx want to beat Team Liquid, they can't make mistakes in the late game. You can make mistakes in the early to mid. You can afford to make those mistakes where they're not as exploitable. But in the late game against Team Liquid, you cannot. You have to be killer. You have to be super efficient with how you play the map. And unfortunately for Onic in that last game, they made too many blunders, they made too many mistakes, and ultimately Team Liquid came back on them. So that's what's going to happen going forward if this continues. But I do think Onic can take one or two games off of Team Liquid Philippines. If they do advance to the grand finals, I do think Onic will win at least two games. I don't think they'll win the final because beating Team Liquid four times is just going to be almost impossible, guys. But yeah, great series. Onic are improving a lot, and Team Liquid are still at the top of the food chain. Let's go on to Falcons versus Omega. Um, this series was, I mean, a heartbreak for Omega. Omega, listen, Omega weren't the best team this season because for majority of the season it was very very competitive, right? Nobody knew who was going to break in into the top four, especially with how inconsistent TNC and Aurora were. Coming into the season, those teams were like supposedly the favorites, right? Omega like started performing really good after like week five. I would say after week four, they were like, okay, we see glimpses of it, and then after week five, they kind of skyrocketed. They played very very good. I believe they actually beat Onic in the regular season. They beat Falcons. Like this team is very very solid, but you could tell that the inexperience in the playoffs kind of killed them because some of the decisions that they were making in that last game were just very, very odd and very, very concerning because a pro team should never be making those type of mistakes, especially against Falcons, guys. Falcons, listen, Falcons don't look the best. Falcons actually do look a bit shaky, but they did look way better than they did against Onic. Against Onic, that did not look like Falcons. That looked like, no offense, AP Brand, bro. That looked like a very weak team. Falcons were just playing so bad against Onic. But to be honest, Falcons are scaling. And honestly, as I said, I don't know if I said this yesterday in my last video. This gives me deja vu of an Onic Indonesia and M5 beat Falcons, AP Brand, which at the time is Falcons. They beat them 3-0, and the Falcons made the lower bracket run and ultimately won the whole thing. Falcons, we know what their ceiling is. We know that they can be the best team in the world. They have the potential to be Onic and Team Liquid, but they need to play better. They can't like dropping a game to Omega isn't gonna be like that isn't gonna show that like wow, Falcons are just tearing. If Falcons came out and just 3-0 to Omega and just completely stopped them, then I feel like that would put more scare in Onic, but I think that game is going to be insanely close, guys. I think the game is going to be insanely close. Falcons ultimately did clutch up, which is what matters, right? The game was dead even. Falcons were getting outplayed that game, and then they just clutched up when it mattered. So yeah, moving on to Onic versus Falcons, which is going to be played in 7 hours by the time of this recording, guys. I'm obviously going to be doing a review on this one after the matches. Who do I think is going to win, guys? Guys, I this is a best of seven, right? Yeah, best of seven. I have Falcons winning. I think Falcons is gonna make it to the grand finals. I think Falcons are gonna get their revenge on Onic Philippines. I know Onic Philippines have been really, really good, guys, but I have to back what I've seen this whole season, guys. Falcons has beaten Onic twice in the regular season. They were more consistent. Honestly, their drafts are more like just simple. I think Onic tries to do a lot of curveballs, but sometimes that backfires, especially when you pick these niche picks that other teams are just going to know how to play against them in the late game. I think Falcons are going to be more disciplined this time around. And again, like even Falcons, right? When they played Onic like a day or two ago, Falcons were playing terrible and they were still beating Onic in a lot of those early games. So that should tell you how good Falcons are. I think if both teams play at their absolute best, Falcons do win. I think Super Marco is better than Severo. Kyle and King Kong very, very even. Um, Haji Super Friends very, very even. I think, listen, Flap TZ is better than I think overall, Falcons checks more boxes. So I will favor them against Onic Philippines. I'm going to say 4-3. I think this goes the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if Onic wins. Listen, if Onic wins, congrats to them. I wouldn't be shocked. They're an amazing team. So, yeah, I think the last two matches of the playoffs, winner of this faces Team Liquid in the finals. Like the winner of this is gonna have so much momentum going into that grand final. Because listen, if Falcons goes into that grand finals, they've already beaten Team Liquid in the regular season. They know how to match up against them well. If Onic makes it, it's gonna be a rematch and potentially revenge because it's not like Team Liquid were just on a completely different level to Onic, right? Like Onic was putting up an extremely good fight. Like Team Liquid are not some unbeatable juggernauts, guys. They do drop games, and these teams are capable of damaging and hurting Team Liquid a lot. So listen, don't be shocked if one of these teams actually wins it all because being in the lower bracket gives you an advantage, believe it or not. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the series, the matches. Who do you think is winning the playoffs? Do you think Team Liquid is winning the playoffs? Do you think Falcons are going to make the lower bracket run? Do you think Onic Philippines is going to return that M6 form to the land of dawn and win it all once again, bro? would be legendary. But yeah, guys, until next time, I'll catch you guys. See you.